Hello, everybody, and welcome again to this series of interviews that we're having. Today, I have my dearest friend with me, Irina Flamaropoulos, who is going to talk to us about the best tips to get fitter, because obviously she is a personal trainer, so she knows a lot about that. So first of all, thank you very much, Irina. I said Irina, but Irina, welcome, and thank you very much for being here with us. How are you?
Thank you. I'm very good, thank you.
Brilliant. So, Irina, first of all, tell us a little bit about you. So, how long have you been working as a personal trainer, and why did you decide to do that for a living?
I started working as a personal trainer 4 years ago in Vienna because I used to live in Vienna for the past 5 years. And I kept on doing it because I loved it. And ever since I've been living in Spain for 6 months, actually, I've been continuing doing it. And the reason why I chose to do this is because when I started training for myself, I had such a big change in my life, change for the better. I experienced so many good things, from a better health to a higher self-confidence. And
Oh,
because of all these reasons, I felt like a completely different person, a better one, and I just wanted to help other people discover it is possible by training and by taking care of themselves.
that's really cool. So, it actually affected other areas of your life.
Yes, it did. It did. I must confess, before starting training, I was lacking confidence. Um, uh, I just I was also I was always thinking, well, I will never be one of those girls who can do that. I will never be able to look like that. I will never be able blah blah blah. And then finally, until the day when I was able to do it, just by discipline and by training for a longer time.
And changing habits, I guess.
Yes.
Brilliant. And so, Irina, tell us what are the main challenges of people who work with you, of your students, if that's what we can call them.
First of all, the biggest challenge I think is finding a routine they can stick to, because many are very enthusiastic, very motivated at the beginning, and they say, okay, I'm going to come every day and do this and that. And then of course on the long term, you have also other obligations in life. You cannot dedicate fully to training, and then of course you will start slowing down, and somehow by seeing they don't go as often as they used to go, they lose the motivation.
Uh-huh.
Another challenge is um, choosing to do a type of training that is not suitable for them just because they think is cool, or just because they see others doing it.
Uh-huh.
Like for instance, heavyweight lifting, and it's not for everyone. You also need to like it. So it's not just because other people at the gym do it that you also need to do it. Then another challenge is restarting the training routine after a longer break. Like for
Okay.
instance, going on holiday for over 2 weeks. It's really difficult to start again. I actually lost quite a few clients like that because they went on a long holiday or after summer because they wanted to do other things, and they just didn't find the motivation to start again.
To start again. So motivation plays a big part on this then.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes, and a last challenge that I would like to name is they expect immediate results. They come motivated and they say, okay, if I started today, I will see something tomorrow or next week, and it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. So usually it takes up to 8 weeks until starting to really see changes, and many people
Wow.
don't have the patience to do it for 8 weeks.
That's what happens, these days we live in a world that everything is so fast and so
Yeah.
immediate. It's like an immediate response. Just with a click we can get so much information, and you get a lot of things just by, a simple click. And I guess that translates into people wanting results immediately. It happens the same with learning English or learning a language. So I can totally relate to that.
Exactly.
Brilliant. So what would you say is the main difference? What are the benefits of working with personal training compared to, let's say, for example, going to the gym?
First of all, the fact that you have someone knowledgeable watch you and telling you how to execute the movements, because many people don't really know how is the correct posture, and they end up hurting themselves if they don't do it correctly. And I don't mean that a huge weight will fall on you, but just a small detail of not having, for instance, the abdominals very tight while doing an exercise can really hurt your lower back. So this is the main thing. And then, of course, having someone tell you what you should be doing for your own goals. So having a plan adjusted to your needs and to your objectives. Having a lot of variation, not doing the same thing over and over again, because many people who go alone have a training routine they like and they know, and they just do it every single day, and the body gets used to it, and then you don't get a training effect after some time. So you need a big variation, both in the type of training, like for instance alternating cardio and strength training, and also in the exercises and intensity of the exercises that you execute.
Right. So, two very important points there. Safety, obviously.
Yes.
And also, that's a good point that not many people realize, that the body actually gets used to the type of exercises that you do.
Yes.
So it's important and to introduce changes in those routines.
Exactly. And then again, speaking about motivation, some people don't find the intrinsic motivation to just keep going, but by knowing they are responsible also to someone else, they kind of feel, I don't want to say obliged, but they feel more motivated to do it just because they promised to someone else they would. By booking that time, you know you don't have an excuse.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're making yourself, do something. Okay.
Yes.
Cool. And what would you say are, for someone who wanted to get fit quickly?
Yes.
What would you say are the top 3 exercises or the top 3 tips to get fitter? Not necessarily exercises, but the top 3 tips that you would give someone to get fitter quickly.
First of all, to do moderate exercises every day. With moderate exercises, I also mean, for instance, 1 hour of walking. So it's not necessarily to go to the gym every single day, but to do something every day, because there are people who go one day a week for 2 hours. They say they pump it out and they have enough for the rest of the week, and it doesn't work like that. So unfortunately, it's not once hard and enough. You need to do it every day. It's a cumulative effect. So this would be it, to do something active every day.
Right, so it's about frequency, not so much about the intensity of the exercise.
Yes, exactly. So even, as I said, even this walking, even this, if you go by bus, just go out 2-3 stations before and walk them, or things that you can easily integrate into your routine. This would be the first tip.
Use the stairs.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Brilliant. So that's one.
That's one. Another one is definitely linked to nutrition too. So there are people who say, I like to eat a lot, so I compensate by doing sports. Yeah, it's better to compensate by doing sports than to not compensate by not doing anything. But still, if you don't watch your nutrition, then with as much sport as you want to do, you will never get there. You will never fully get to those objectives to really feel and look good. Nutrition plays such a high role for me. I say in a healthy lifestyle, when we talk just about nutrition and fitness, not talking now about sleep and mindfulness and mind condition. For me, nutrition plays like 80%. The
Wow.
role of nutrition is 80% and training 20%. Also, with a bad nutrition, you won't get to do the exercises to maximize the effect.
Okay, so it actually has an effect on how effective the exercises can be. You know,
Yes.
if you have a well nutrition or a good diet, you know. Okay, that's very
Yes.
interesting. And the third one?
The third one would be to start the morning already with some exercises. It might be even just 5 minutes of stretches. It might just be 10 push-ups or 20 squats or whatever suits you, but to give you this bump of energy in the morning. And then I would also recommend some stretches, as I said, 5 minutes, not half an hour before going to sleep. So like to start the day and to end the day with a sort of training.
Oh, cool. How about, so, because for a lot of people, you know, they might not have a lot of time in the morning. I used to do Tabata.
Yeah.
Tabata exercises. So it's very, very short exercises, very intense, but, you know, 4 minutes, 8 minutes is something that I think most people can do. For those who don't know what Tabata is, can you explain a little bit more?
Yes, Tabata are short series of intense exercises followed by a break. The most traditional timing is 20 seconds of exercise and 10 seconds of a break, but then there are a lot of variations, like for instance 40 seconds of exercise, 20 of break, or 50 or of exercise, 10 of break. So it's this practical an interval training where you get your heartbeat up, and then you leave it some time to go down again and up again and down again. So then you train your heart too.
Okay, and it actually makes you feel, you know, full of energy. I think they are
Yeah.
cool exercises to start the day. Okay, brilliant. So thank you so much, Irina, for all these very, very interesting and useful information. If
You're very
anybody wanted
welcome.
to get fitter, how could they contact you? How could they know more about what you do?
Well, I have my company, which is actually an anti-aging school, but part of it is personal training.
Uh-huh.
I operate in Madrid. The company is called R Coach. R Coach. The page is rcoach.net, and we are also on Facebook under R Coach Life.
R Coach Life. Perfect. So if anybody wants to get some more advice, that is the place to go.
Yes, indeed it is.
Thank you very much, Irina. And it's time for all of us then to do a little bit of exercise.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thanks.